Hi, everybody. See the red subscribe button? Go ahead and click it for me. Thank you so much for your support. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Shannon Confidential. I am Shannon, your host, and Shannon Confidential is a podcast about life, love, and everything in between. And today's in between is a ball of energy. She's got crazy energy. It's Rochel Marie Lawson with Blissful Living for you. I'll let her go into her business and what she does, but let me tell you, it's pretty spectacular. She is so confident, so knowledgeable. She's an incredible businesswoman, a best-selling author, a best-selling international author. She's a speaker, a podcaster. And let me tell you, you are just going to love listening to her. If you don't end this podcast just feeling like you're ready to live your best life, you need to listen to it again. But she's amazing. I can't wait to bring you Rochel Marie Lawson with Blissful Living for you. Okay, here is the woman I was telling you about. She is a ball of energy. It's Rochel Marie Lawson with Blissful Living for you. I'm just going to let her talk because, trust me, she has so much to say. And it's so, oh my God, she's just off the charts energetic. So Rochel Marie, thank you for being on Shannon Confidential.
Thank you for having me, Shannon. Okay, I'm going to try to not be so over the top with my energy.
No, please do.
But thank you for having me. I'm just super excited to be here and just feel very grateful that you asked me to be a guest on your show.
Thank you. Thank you. You have quite a backstory from where you come from to where you are now and what you do. So just give everybody a little insight on who you are and what brought you to where you are today.
Okay, so I'm Rochel Marie Lawson. I'm known as the Queen of Feeling Fabulous. I say I am an entrepreneur extraordinaire because I have two businesses. My first business I started back in 1989 in an industry that was a male-dominated industry. I was the first female as well as minority to start a business in the Western region of the United States. In the industry, telecommunications installation. And this was before computers, pretty much, that we have today. No cell phones. If you had a pager, that was high technology back in the day.
I remember that.
Yeah. So I'm just saying. But I started that business because I had graduated as an electrical engineer, and I couldn't get hired in Silicon Valley as an electrical engineer because I was a female. Pretty much that's what I heard from every large corporation in that Silicon Valley was, I'm sorry, we would love to hire you, but you're going to be working around men that are your father's age. So until we can figure out how to make them comfortable, we can't hire you right now. So fine. I, had to do something. So I went back to school, became a registered nurse. But once I finished that, worked as a registered nurse at night while I started the telecommunications installation company with my husband during the day. Right away, we got very large customers, and that company is still killing it today. 30 plus years later, it is a top 50 women-owned business in Silicon Valley. And the majority of our customers have been with us for 25 years or more. So that business I'm still a part of, and I am the majority shareholder of that corporation. But the business that is my passion and that I love, that allows me to express my internal gifts and my gifts that have been bestowed upon me from the divine, is my business, Blissful Living for You. As a registered nurse, my background is emergency room trauma. So if you think about the early—
Wow, I can only imagine what you see.
I don't practice now, but I'm saying if you think about the early 80s, late 80s and 90s, there was a lot of drive-by gangbanging, hardcore living, and I wanted to be in an area where I could serve to my best capacity. I'm gifted when it comes to just knowing what to do for my patients. And so that business allowed me to have an abundance of experience with people. I worked night shift. I was the only female. Check this out. Here. Only female on the shifts that I worked, no matter what hospital I worked at. And I would work at different trauma centers, right? Because I wanted the trauma, but I was always the only female RN that worked with a bunch of other guy RNs, which was great in emergency room. And so there's kind of a theme, but I would share stuff with my patients, holistic stuff. And long story short, they would come back and tell me what I shared with them changed their life and helped them to step in. And I had a beautiful experience with a very well-known, influential Silicon Valley guru before he got sick and while he was dying. And we just had this great conversation. And he said, I would give you all the wealth that I have if I could be as healthy and radiant as you are today. He says, unfortunately, I did not value my health and well-being. I focused on valuing money, and now money can't buy me what I need most. And I thought about that, and that really resonated with me. So, here I am, after a few years of working in the emergency room trauma at night and doing my business during the day, I could not give up my nursing because I was very passionate about it. And I was gifted at it. I'm gifted at it, but I couldn't give up my business either because I'm a bad chick when it comes to operations and visions, and very intuitive and just gifted in that area as well. And so it got to a point where the business was going from 6 figures to 7 figures that I couldn't double dip. And I'm raising kids. We're raising kids, right? I couldn't double dip. And so I figured out how to still fulfill my passion of helping people with their health and well-being, and still run my telecom business. Opened up a holistic spa in Northern California, and that turned into what Blissful Living for You is today. The spa ended up going global because I began speaking and writing and sharing wisdom, and it turned into wellness and wisdom and wealth. And so Blissful Living for You is a company that helps you to unlock your bliss so that you can step into living the life of your dreams by balancing the pillars of wellness, wisdom, and wealth, using ancient holistic principles in harmony with you and the divine universe. And so, yeah.
That was incredible. What is an ancient, okay, besides for all the other questions, what's an ancient holistic method? Explain.
Okay, so Ayurveda is a medical discipline, natural holistic medical discipline that I went and got an advanced degree in. Because I had realized that I had a 17-year journey with not being well myself. And
not being well during this whole time where you're incredibly successful.
Yeah. It's my journey. So my journey started when I was 8 and it ended when I was 25. But 17 years, that journey progressively got more traumatizing, excruciating, and I suffered, but could not be diagnosed by the medical community. No one figured it out. But by the time I was 25, I was already a nurse and had been learning how to do things that would make me feel better for a little bit, but not, it wouldn't last. So like, I stopped eating fast foods when I was like 13 and just stopped getting massage to save my little ducats up so I could get a massage and, just little stuff like that. And, but anyways, I got digressed. I can't remember what I was saying.
No, so now you were going into the holistic part.
So the holistic part was I went back and discovered Ayurveda. And it came to me and realized that's what I utilized to heal myself in 9 months after suffering for 17 years, was what was in Ayurveda, the holistic principles. So I started incorporating that into my mind, body, spirit, how I operate, because I'm a type A, fiery energy chick. Oh, yeah. I got so much energy. And because I grew up around boys, I'm the only girl in my whole entire family. So here's the thing. Only girl, only granddaughter of my whole entire family, grew up around boys. Growing up, had mostly male friends, right? Because I just got along with guys. I could understand them. Yeah. I grew up around them. Started a business in the male-dominated industry. Worked as an emergency room trauma nurse, being the only female with all kind of males, right? So there's a theme here. But yeah, the ancient principles of Ayurveda were beautiful with me with regards to my health and well-being. I could not believe, after suffering for 17 years, that I was able to put what I was doing in alignment from a divine meditation. I say it changed my life in 9 months. It was almost like this illness that I had for 17 years, I finally was able to birth in 9 months. And I have not been sick ever again. Not been sick ever again.
Good for you.
And so what I also realized was the essence of the principles, and everything is natural, and it's all about being in balance in mind, body, and spirit. If one of those areas are out of balance, then you open up a gateway for illness and disease to come in, right? And that goes with your well-being, your mindset, and your wealth, whatever wealth means to you. So I began to like incorporate some of the principles and modalities for my mindset into how I ran my telecom business. And when I began to do that, that's when the business went from 6 to 7 figures and beyond. I began to incorporate that just about in everything I do. And my wealth began to grow astronomically. And it wasn't like that's what I was trying to do. It was just what was happening. And so, I had that spot and the clients would come in and be like, oh, can you tell us how you do this? Or how'd you do that? And how are you doing this? And you have kids and, and it was just like the ebb and flow. And like I said, wealth means a lot of different things to a lot of people. It's not always what you think. It's not always material, and it's not always money, because the person that was dying, that was my patient, wealth meant to him his wealth and his well-being, right? And he couldn't get it. So I just started like helping people identify what wealth means to them, and truly in all capacities, and show them where they may have blocks or imbalances in their mindset that's preventing them from having that wealth, and that's preventing them from having that well-being that they desire, that they want, and bringing the balance and harmony into all of those areas and allowing them to step forward and really realize a difference of a life when you are able to put things in balance and harmony. Now, of course, we have stuff that happens in life every day. We dealing with stuff that gets thrown at us, but it's having the tools that helps you and keeps you, when you can stop yourself in that moment and say, hey, you know what? I need to take a walk outside in nature or go check yourself every now and then. Yeah, exactly. And it's when you are able to do that, then your whole life changes, and your dream life, instead of thinking you have your dream life. Yeah, I have my dream life. If you ask people that, they're like, yeah, I have my dream life. I'm like, but having it and living it is two different things.
Thank you.
Yeah, having it and living it is two different things. So,
Yeah. And you mentioned several times mindset. I am such a true believer in whatever you are doing, whether it be work related, family related, friendships, personal relationships, whatever. You're sick, you're healthy. Your mindset is crucial to the success of that relationship, that job, that health matter. You have to have the mindset to see it in a positive direction, because the exact opposite, if you don't have a good mindset to start off, that negativity follows. And you can see it in people. A good mindset it makes you, an extraordinary ball of energy, just like you. And a bad mindset also makes you kind of not want to be around one of those people. We all have met people like that. It starts with the mindset.
You're so right. You know what's so funny is, I can't even remember when I first started hearing this saying. I must have been a little girl. See, I was a little girl, and I was a mouthy little girl. So I was always getting in trouble for my mouth. Like, well, if you got something to say it. And I'd say it, and then it wouldn't be what it was, how it's supposed to come out. But I remember my grandmother, and she was from Houston, Texas, and she always had these old Southern sayings, right? And she would say, we're from Northern California, Bay Area. And she would always say, your thoughts create, she would tell me, your thoughts are going to create your reality. Tighten up that mouth, right? Your thoughts are going to create your reality, and I'm like, because she said, you can't tighten up your mouth. And once you learn to tighten up your mouth and you can change your thoughts, then you'll have a better reality. But right now, because I was getting in trouble, right now, you need to go in the room and get ready because you're in trouble. Okay. So
I like her.
But you know what? It's like all these little sayings that she used to say, I was like, it's real. Your thoughts do create your reality. Yes, your thoughts do create your reality. I have seen people go from being healthy and bring on an illness and disease because their mind told them that's what was going to happen. I have seen people not afraid to make a business decision because they thought something bad was going to happen, whatever. And I've seen that bad come, right? Or they just didn't even have it. The people that are, as they say, half cup, half full, half empty.
Yeah.
Or they see everything negative first, like, oh, this, it's a beautiful cloudy day. It looks like it's going to rain. We're going to get some cleansing. Oh, it's going to rain. I got to drive in the rain. My car going to get dirty. It's going to be trapped. I'm like, you know what I mean?
That's exhausting to be around.
Exactly. And because they think like that, guess what? They drive in the rain, the car gets dirty, they may get the flat tire, traffic is going to be more heavy than it normally is. Mm-hmm. All of that happens. I've seen that and I've experienced that in my life. And so when I deal or help people to understand balancing their mindset and how important that is, because we operate so often in a state that we are, that we don't even know that we're off balance. Trust me, I operated in the state and didn't even know I was off balance until several things came upon me, and they kept coming. And the more I was not paying attention, the bigger the same thing came, right? And I realized, my mind is off balance. How can I share stuff with people to help them progress if I don't have it right here, right? So I'm a positive person. I always see things positive. I don't know, I guess, I'm a fighter. I'm strong. Again, I think it's just growing up with those boys,
Yeah, it's a positive influence. I'll tell you that, because if that's what made you who you are today, and this strength and this confidence that you have, I think it's fantastic.
Thank you so much. I don't know. I just think it's just all my experiences, and I was such a tenacious little girl.
Yeah, well, you haven't changed. Trust me, you haven't changed.
I just package it better now. Yeah. I have more containment.
You tightened up that mouth a little bit. Now you're doing good.
Oh, well, that's still work in progress. Oh, I love it. I think my mouth is going to be working. I have gotten better. Don't get me wrong. But what's funny is when I first started that telecom company, all the employees, majority of them, I think I've only had females work a couple of times. All the employees are guys. And so because I grew up around guys, I talk to guys like guys. I'm not bad. I'm very feminine. Don't get me wrong, very feminine.
Oh, I understand.
My 5-inch heels and my jewelry. I got a shoe fetish for days. But and always would, even when I was a little girl, play Barbies and very girly, right? Uh-huh. But when I was talking to my employees, I just talked to them and it didn't faze them not one bit. I just like him, and they're like, all right, she just whatever. But they would do what I asked. Yes.
You can be in heels or jewelry, or no heels and no jewelry. Just as long as you're real, people respect that.
Yes. And being real doesn't always mean you're perfect either.
No. Who's perfect?
Yes. Yes. You said it, Shannon. That's it. It's true. And I can always, I really relate to people that are real like that. It's just like, it's almost like this magnetic attraction, whether it's male, female, whatever.
Yeah.
I can feel, again, the intuitiveness in me. I can feel when someone's real and authentic, and when someone's trying to put on airs for me, or I'm nobody, but you know what I'm saying?
Yes, that honest and sincerity. You can't, even if you tried to fake it, you're only going to get away with it for so long. But that's a long-term emotion that you either have or you don't.
Yes.
Yeah. So if someone wanted to learn how to be involved in blissful living for you, they just call you? Is this something you do over the face-to-face? Now with everybody traveling, is this a program? Explain the program.
Okay. So Blissful Living for you. If you have any interests or anything about what I'm saying, you can reach out to me. You can go to my website for sure. Blissful Living, u.com. There's a ton of free gifts that you can obtain that goes along with unlocking your bliss, your dream life, and balancing your wellness, wisdom, and wealth. If you want to take it deeper and you want to have a conversation with me, you can book a time to chat with me, and we can discuss whatever it is you want to chat about, whatever it is, mindset, your wellness, your wealth, whatever you want to utilize that time to discuss. And from that point, then I can decide, or if you're interested, and you will be. I'm just saying, Shannon wouldn't have me on the show if I wasn't fabulous. But I'm just saying, if it's something that you want me to assist you to work through, then we can discuss what options I have for you. I hate to do stuff generic, because we're all unique individuals. So even though I have a main program, so to speak, I like to curtail things to people's uniqueness. And that is the beauty about Ayurveda and what I practice, because we all are different. We all are unique individuals. In the moment that sperm, that egg, let that sperm in, that created our divine uniqueness. There's no one on the planet like us. Even identical twins are unique. So I have, yes, a base program, but I like to have a conversation with people to identify what in those areas they want to focus on first. Some people want to focus on their mindset because they figure if they don't have their mindset right, they won't be able to do what they need to do for their well-being. Some people want to focus on their well-being because if they're not feeling good, then how are they gonna, so it just depends. And I like to curtail it to everyone's unique needs.
Okay. So, and someone can contact you whether they want to improve their mindset and their entire being.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, it could be through work. You also speak, correct?
Yes, I speak. I speak all over the place. I've spoken around the world. The next time I'm speaking, and I'm not sure when you guys will hear this, but it'll be in San Jose, California, February 27th. But also, I have summits that I hold as well, and they're called the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable Women Summits. And they will be in 5 cities throughout the US. It'll start in San Diego, go to Denver, Washington, D.C., Detroit, Michigan, and then back to San Francisco Bay Area. They start August, I believe, 17th. And you can check that out. The site is www.unstoppable-womens-summit.com, and you can find out the information there, or go to blissfullivingforyou.com and find out the information there. But yes, always looking for women to elevate and unite and amplify. And the wonderful thing, the other thing I want to share with you all is that I love supporting women, all of us women, right? When we're united and we're strengthened and we're connected, we are powerful. And so my time that I've spent between California and Texas down in San Antonio, I realized that our women veterans are forgotten heroes. We don't see them. When you hear the word veteran, you think of a man. Down here in the military city, San Antonio, you just don't see our women vets. You don't see them on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree with you.
They struggle, and they are forgotten heroes. They're in combat like the fellas, And so what I do is I try to give to the women veterans. And one organization that I do like supporting is the Women's Veterans Alliance in California. They support women veterans transitioning from military to civilian life. And so basically everything is in order for us women to unite and be unstoppable so that we can change the world to make it a better place, which is the book Unstoppable is all about. We need to support every woman in the world, no matter where they may be, how they came to be, or whatever. We need to support, because we are the most powerful species on the planet.
100% agree with that. I agree with that. And you mentioned your book, and I want everybody to know everything that Rochel Marie talks about, the websites, the events, all of this stuff. I will make sure it'll be in the show notes underneath the podcast. I'll make it just a click away so you can get right in touch with her, or anything that she's even talked about, the events and everything. You mentioned your book. You have the Blissful Living book. And then you have a second one, I believe the one right behind me coming out.
So this one, yes, Unstoppable, actually has been published, released February 11th. It is available on Amazon right now. We're getting good reviews. And the really interesting thing about it is we have almost just as many men that have reviewed the book as women.
Okay, so what is it about? Why do you think there's that crossover?
I have no idea, but the book is about, it's about being an unstoppable woman, no matter where we are in our journey in life. And it came about, it was an ideal for my daughter, who's watched me in my business, because I used to have to take her to board meetings with me, dress her up in a little suit and tell her to sit there and pretend like she's my secretary at 6 and 7 years old, right? But she's watched me. And so she said, Mommy, you should create a project where you always uniting women, but you should create a project where you bring women together to share words of wisdom for the future female generations that are to come after you all. She goes, I hear incredible. right? She goes, here I sit and I think about your grandmothers who you talk about all the time. I never got to meet them. But wouldn't it have been beautiful if I had something that they've written down and that was being passed on of just guidance, words, wisdom, whatever it is that I could keep and cherish and share with my my daughter, her daughter, and so on. And I thought about that. And I'm like, that's beautiful. Where'd you get that? She goes, well, I just kind of been watching you, Mom, and you give advice to my friends. They love you. They call you this like guru. You make stuff happen. And, and I'm like,
she's a mini me.
Yeah, I guess. So the project came about that, and that's what it is. And the beautiful thing about this is the project and the stories in the book relate to women from, I'm going to say 16, 17, 18 to women in their 70s and beyond, because the authors in the book range 5 decades. Our oldest author is over 70, and she's in the book. And so it is going to be a book for generations, and it is about wisdom on how to be fierce and fearless in life and business.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
And again, I'll make sure everybody's linked up. They can order the book. It'll be right underneath in the show notes. Good for your daughter. How old was she when she said something so incredible?
Well, she's 28. She's going to be 29 this year. But she told me this, I want to say it must have been, she's been pushing me for a while, but I want to say maybe in 2019, because I was sharing a couple of stories with her and her girlfriends about how before I even started my business and I was young, the ways I got hired. Okay. I'm just going to say ways I got hired for various jobs I got. It had nothing to do with my skills. I had pretty legs. One job I got hired for pretty legs, all this kind of stuff. So I was just giving them words of wisdom. Right. And then in 2019 with the Me Too movement, that she remembered some of the stories I shared and said, Mom. And so she started like nudging me, and then, you need to do that book. You should do the book. And we couldn't think of what the theme behind the book was going to be. And then one day we were having coffee. I was having tea, and she was having a cup of coffee, and I was visiting her. And she says, I know what it is, unstoppable. Because Mom, you don't let nothing stop you. You had to take kids to basketball, you had to take me to dance, you had to be here, there, in San Jose, and you just don't let nothing stop you. And I go, she goes, so the book has to be for unstoppable women, about unstoppable women and how to be an unstoppable woman.
I think it's great when you have, mothers and daughters have always, I've got a daughter, and sometimes it could be a little sketchy in the relationship, but isn't it so incredibly rewarding when your daughter says something so positive and so with so much respect towards you and you as her mom, and just how much she just loves you and respects you and admires you.
It is it really is a trip. It really is a trip. And I have to say I'm blessed because I have 2 kids. My son, who's 3 years older than her, I have 2 kids that are exactly like me. And boy, do they know how to give me a taste of my own medicine when I need to have it, right? So my son, I said, if I was a boy, I'd be exactly like him. We think alike, we processed, and he is me, but he's a male aspect of me, right? And, super smart, incredibly just like his mama. But he's born a day after his daddy, so he was his dad's birthday present. So he's not my astrological sign at all, but he's exactly like me. And then I have my daughter, who is just this beautiful essence. She's like me, but she's not like me. It's definitely not in the context like my son, but because she's got a little bit of her dad mixed in there too. But that girl knows how to give me a taste of my own medicine, and not always when I want it. Like I'm not, So it's a beautiful thing when you see your kids that you tell them the stuff, and you know how we raising our kids, you snag at them over and over, and you don't think they're hearing you, and then they come back and tell you something that you said to them, or share something to lift you up that you shared with them, or it is like, oh wow, that is the most beautiful experience, because then you really truly are in their DNA and divinely connected to them in an extra special way. And I think that's just beautiful.
That, yes, just when your daughter said that to you, I just felt that mother-daughter, wow, you do like me, you did listen, you do get it,
Yeah, my daughter is like, she's way tall. So my daughter's like 5'11", and I'm like, I was 5'7". I think I've shrunk down to 5'6.5". So she hugs me, and I feel like I'm the daughter, I'm the little. She's like, oh, mommy, you're such a little baby, and I'm like, but it's so cute because she is a baby. She's a big baby, but she's a baby. But it's just like, yeah, it's just a beautiful feeling when um, you communicate with the younger generation, your kids and their friends, and realize that they're listening to you. Even her friends will throw stuff like, remember when you told us this, and remember when we were on our girls trip, and we did this, and you said this, and act like this, and you better not do this, and it was like, yeah, it's just very loving. So
Yeah, they're sponges, I tell you.
yeah, they are.
And now you have the new book that's come out recently. You have the business, another business. You also have a podcast.
Yes, I have a podcast. The podcast is the Blissful Living Show. And I've had this podcast since 2011. I cannot even believe it's been 11 years. I cannot even believe it. The podcast has been, it's been live. It's been, I've been on various media channels that just kept elevating the platform. And it was so funny because I had no idea. My first podcast it was a 30-minute show once a month. And from that 30-minute show once a month, somebody heard me speaking and thought I would make a good podcast host. I got my first little best-selling book, Intro to Ayurveda Health, Intro to Holistic Health, Ayurveda Style. And then it just kept growing. And so people would hear me, and then I would get offers on bigger media platforms. And for about 2 years, I did it live out of San Francisco Bay Area. But then I pulled back a little bit. And so now I'm hosting it my own and have, a lot more control. Not that I didn't have control, but it just is pretty streamlined. But I've had some from celebrities to athletes to NBA champions to kick butt business people to people doing stuff around the world for helping lower socioeconomic communities around the world, like bringing water into villages, to Fortune 500 CEOs, to heads of school of medicines at the finest universities around our nation, attorneys, tax experts. And so the premise of the show is, yeah, pretty much. The premise of the show is anything and any information, wisdom that a guest can disseminate upon us that falls into the categories of wellness, wisdom, and wealth. I've had, gurus on there, holistic gurus. And so, yeah, it's open. It's open because there's so much that encompasses all of that. It's beautiful, but I love my podcast. I'm wild and crazy on it. It's just a 30-minute show. And the beautiful thing with that is I was able to do a spinoff from it with a co-host who's one of my speakers for my events. We just created a show called Real Talk. And
Okay.
been doing that show, just on the side. And that show got picked up by National Public Radio.
Wow, congratulations. And what's Real Talk about?
Real Talk is a show for women, about women, open dialogue where we have, panelist guests on. And we talk about issues of today that affect us women and how they affect us. And so last night we did a show, and it was money, politics, and money in politics and society. And we talked about women.
How long was that one?
The show is only a 30-minute show, but it's on National Public Radio, and this show probably won't air because they're all pre-recorded. It probably won't air. Well, I don't know what the schedule is, but it'll air on Mondays, and definitely you can find out the call letters, particularly if you're in the state of Missouri, Kentucky, Oklahoma. What's the fourth state? Those states right there in the middle of the country. I think the show airs on the same call letters on the radio.
Okay, I want to listen to that one.
Yeah, it's good. Last night was really good. I mean, there's some good shows, and we talk about a lot of stuff, but again, it's an open platform for us, and there's no judgment. People come, ladies come, and they're real. Everybody doesn't agree. Everybody doesn't have the same experience, but together, when we bring those things out, we can help and support each other so that we unite, right? If you never know what a person's experience is or how that person is, you can never connect and unite with them.
And you learn that you're not in this world alone. And sometimes it's just to hear that you're not alone. There's power and strength in that.
Yes, 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 yes. So, yeah.
I
can't think of anything else I'm doing now. Let me think. I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything right now, but I'm sure I'm just forgetting. And
So you mentioned you're a speaker. You're doing these different events that you're going. Do you speak to businesses? Do you conferences? Just anything?
Yeah, okay, so I'm sorry. The Brave, Bold, and Unstoppable Women's Summits are some of these summits I said in the 5 cities. And the theme of them is to help women and a few smart men come and hear the speakers talk about turning your passion into purpose and profit. So whatever it is, discovering your passion and not being afraid to be brave, bold, and unstoppable and take that leap. We've all have had to take a leap somewhere in life. And so these summits are designed for that. It's also designed to support our women veterans and have them included, because some of the information that the speakers will share, their women vets don't get to hear. It's not privy to. They may have done something in the military that really doesn't exist as a job in today's world, right? So they need to learn how to, whatever there is, their passion. Let me share a story with you. There's a gal in this book, Unstoppable, served in the military. There's 2 of them that are military veterans, but this one girl served in the Army for 20 years. I'm not going to share what she did in the military, but when she got out, her job didn't really exist. But she discovered that she was passionate about energy healing and got into and had a gift with that. And now she's an energy healer after serving 20 years and retiring from the Army, and she's doing energy healing at the Pentagon. That's what I'm talking about.
Go. That's incredible.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So that's what the Brave, Bold, and Unstoppable Women Summits are all about.
Yeah, she is definitely all 3. Wow. I have to say, I can't wait to read the book.
Thank you.
I know I'll get a lot out of it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to get a lot out of it. I'm glad it's reviewing well. I'm glad you wrote it. I'm glad your daughter had you write it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I just appreciate the opportunity to do it and to bring these women together, because it's incredible. And their stories are all different, and it's about different parts of life. They're not all wellness focused. They're all business focused. They're just about different aspects of life and tools that we can utilize. You can open it up and one chapter speaks to you that day, or read it from cover to cover, or whatever it is. But yeah, it's definitely great reviews on the back of the book as well. So it's very nice.
Congratulations very nice to you on that. What do I dare ask what you have coming up? What did anything?
Well, I am going to take a little bit of time, because I have these 2 businesses now. My telecom business, I don't do I'm not how can I say, head deep into it, right? I've got processes and systems that but I'm going to take a little time, like a week and just 4 days, and just kind of chill. But I do have a book agreement with Hay House for my next 2 solo book projects. So once I take my little 4-day respite, I will begin book 1 of that project, which is about 75% completed. But I've got some stuff I want to add to it and amplify it a bit.
Okay.
And the fact that it's Hay House and I got this opportunity is great. So
are you allowed to say what that is about? You allowed to say anything about it?
No, not yet, but it will definitely, here's a little tickler. It has to do with your mindset and how you can take your thoughts and streamline them into making them your reality. So it has to do with up-leveling your life.
Nice.
So that you can really not only have, but live your dream life.
All right. It's gonna fly off the charts. It's
off the charts. Who does it? I hope so. That would be fabulous.
Oh my gosh.
Gayle King or Oprah, somebody to, interview me if they're ready for this ball of energy. But
yeah, your book club, your book is gonna be in their book club.
Yeah, that would be great. We put it out there, so you never know. Remember,
why not throw it out in the universe, right? Throw it out there.
So if me and you do, we doubled that energy power, right? So we'll see. I'll keep you posted, Shannon.
Oh, please do. Please do.
If
And
I get on that show, I'm gonna say, Shannon, you got to come with me because we put it out there. So I got to have my other energy partner with me.
oh my gosh, I love it. That's incredible. You, Rochel Marie, I have to say, you're really, really a remarkable woman, a remarkable mother. What you've done, what you come from, and just, I just get so much like love in my heart when I see somebody that just takes everything that of who they are and they just pay it forward in all different ways, in writing, in your blissful living for you. Just your entire being is trying to make other people better. And that's remarkable.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shannon. I appreciate that. I mean, I just do it and it's just part of me. I understand that I'm an Aquarius, so it's an Aquarian nature. We are humanitarians and we do really want truly make the world a better place, right? That's just our, according to astrology, not an expert, but
Yeah.
So hearing that, I really appreciate your words because it does mean a lot to me. I mean, I'm just doing it and then to see that it's being received is beautiful.
Because that's sometimes when even if you have the right mindset, you're doing everything that makes you feel good. You watch people prosper from the different teachings that you've done or your businesses. And that's great. That's wonderful. But sometimes you just don't, like you just said, you don't know how it transfers over. And I can tell you I haven't even worked with you to try to keep my best of abilities, but just listening to you is incredible. It does transfer over.
Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you. You have to send me your address so I can send you one of these caps.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll send it off there.
Yes.
I'm kind of in between homes right now. We just left Florida. We're in a rental in Tennessee, just still trying to find our forever home, but I believe it'll happen. I'm not going to sweat it.
Yes. Just go with the flow and enjoy the ebb and flow of life, because wherever you go is where you're supposed to be.
Exactly. God, it's so nice to talk to somebody who gets it.
I get it. Yes, I get it, girl.
Yes, you do. And I just have to say, Rochel, I mean, we hit everything. I wanted to make sure I did not miss one question for you. You are a ball of energy. You truly are the queen of feeling fabulous. And I am extremely thankful that you came on Shannon Confidential. We got you on, and I can't wait for people to hear this because you're going to make such a difference in so many lives.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I knew when we got together, I said, it's going to be a fabulous show. And it's been a blast. I thank you, because you allowed me to share so much, and you asked spot on questions that I love answering. So thank you so much, Shannon. I appreciate you.
Thank you.